Good morning, everyone. I'm back. So yesterday with the peacock one, I'll get it. Here is the peacock one. Hope you can see all the beautiful primary elements that are popping through. So what you see is that once I put a varnish layer on here, it's going to come up and pop out of there. Right now I can see it, but I'm not sure you can pick it up on the video. But it is really beautiful. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and how the colors mix together, and even the pigments, how those mix together. I found this so beautiful myself that right now we're going to be doing a pour with these primary elements. So I mixed up a lot of those, and I'm going to put them in a dirty cup and put them on a 20 by 20. This one is 40 by 40. So it's pretty big, and it's sold. Someone already emailed me that they would really like to have it. So I guess it's going to Australia, but not before I finish it yet, because everything you see here, that's going to be popping out of here because of the varnish that I'm going to be putting on it. Then the other one that I did this week, you know, with those beautiful, this is so beautiful. I am going to be doing one like this, but then really big. Someone from Switzerland emailed me and asked if I could do a 70 by 100. That's a really big piece, but what they really like was the ribbons, but I sold that one, so I can't show you. Oh yeah, I have another one over there, which has to be varnished, but I'm going to be doing one in maybe just a little bit more bright colors, because I like bright colors with ribbons on top. But I really like this, what happened here. I love it. This one is already sold too, but what I wanted to show you is something that really amazes me. This one, it's going, I can't sell it anymore, because, you know, even though you guys say it looks like comets, I know, but I don't want to sell this, because that is totally ugly. But if you look close, you will also see the difference, because this is the brand we do not name. So everyone knows what that is. And this one is all Winsor & Newton. So the funny thing is that this looks a little more, I don't know, dirty or something. See all the little specks? And I think in a really big piece I wouldn't mind it, but I think this is much more, it's more clean. When I look at this, it's more dirty. This is more clean. This one has a lot more little bumpy bumps in them, a lot, and this one doesn't. So I'm gonna be sort of finding out why that is and how it works. So that's another thing we have to do. Whoops. Yeah, lay down there. Then this one I did a while back with all these beautiful ribbons on top. I still have to varnish it. See, just to make it clear to a lot, if you look real close, you will see little holes in here, little pinholes here and there. But that's something that you almost can't avoid with acrylic pouring. You will be getting some of those. You just don't want the whole canvas filled with them, but a little bit here and there, you can't avoid it. It's usually when there's a lot of paint in one place. If this is the painting that you emailed me about, please email me again. And then just say the red painting with ribbons, then I know it's you. Please do that, because I still have a couple of paintings that I don't know where they're going to. So help me out, and please just mail me and say, that's my painting, the red one with the ribbons. Okie dokie. Now to the sponsor list, all updated. Here is everyone that has sponsored my channel this month, and we're coming close to the end of the month, so I guess I will have to figure out what we're gonna do, what we're gonna give away. And I have some that are ready and varnished, so I just might show like a couple of pieces and then draw. I think I'll draw 3 people. I'm gonna do 3 real paintings, 20 by 20. I'll show the ones I have, and then you can pick out which one you like. And like the first drawer can pick out first, the second drawer picks out second, the third picks out third. Okay? Sounds good to me. So, thank you all for sponsoring my channel and making this all possible, that I can, you know, test all this paint and do all the pours and show you guys everything that I would like to show you. It's pretty nice weather outside. Tomorrow it's going to be something like 30 Celsius, and that is really hot for Holland. So looking forward to that. So, oh, before I muck up that list, because I really want to keep it nice and clean. That's that. Okay, we have a 20 by 20. I have a clean cup. What I want to do is something a little dramatic, so I'm going to start with a little Payne's Gray. I was thinking, did I put silicone in? Yes, I did. So there's silicone in all colors, like I always do, between 4 to 6 drops, depending on how much paint there's in there. And this time I am going to do a lot of those primary elements. Leslie said that she would extend, oh, it's thinner than I thought. Leslie said she would extend the coupon to up to the 30th of this month. So if you still haven't bought any and you think, ooh, that's cool and I'd like to do that, then you still have up to the 30th of this month to do it. So I'm not sure how this is going to work with all these primary elements mixed all up, but I guess we'll see. Putting in some yellow, and then some more dark dramatic Payne's Gray. And what I did is I made the primary elements pretty thin, because I was hoping that it would totally mix into the to the colors. But you know, this could be just one big fiasco. You never know, because we've never done anything like this. So it's pretty thin. Here we go. Putting it in the middle, turning it around, and it's going to be runny. It's going to be more runny than I usually have. Whoa, see that? But I do like what it's doing at the moment. Can you see the cells, the cell action? And it's all dripping on the table. I will figure that out later, what I'm going to do with it. This is pretty thin. Whoops. Then down here, come on, get over here. And moving it down here. And what I really, oh, I think a half a cup would have been more than enough. But I'm so used to doing the full cups. There we go. A lot of cool stuff going on. But let's see, oops, if I put it down there, no, I can put it down here. Now I want to put the leftovers I have into one cup, because I want to do some ribbons over it to make it just a little prettier. And I do see the metallic, the primary elements, the metallics coming up. I do see that. But what I also see, and this is what you guys have asked me about a couple of times, is here you can just see straight down to the canvas. You see where the silicone hit the canvas before it hit the paint, before the paint hit, and you can see the canvas. And this only happens when your paint is too thin, because this, what I just poured, was just too thin because of all the primary elements in it. There we go. And a little dark. Just a little bit. And I'm going to give it one little twirl like that. And then I'm going to do the ribbons. And what I would like that. I'm getting a little quiet here because I want to do it in nice long motions like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what I like. Only up here I would need a little bit more, because we want to fill in those blank canvas parts. I'm not really fond of that. You know, if you have that a lot, what you can do is just paint your canvas on forehand before you pour. You just give it a nice color that matches up with the paint you're going to pour, and that way there's no problem at all. That looks good. Everything's gone. No more holes in the canvas. That's it. I'm just working, and then I'm going to come in with the torch. I'm not sure if it's going to do much. I'm guessing by now all the silicone is already risen to the top, and that could be why some people don't get these cells, because if you pour, you don't want to wait too long before you start torching. Where's my torchy poo? Okay. There you are. And I'm going to fill it right now. I'll show you how I fill it. I put the can on top and I do like this. 1, 2. That's it. You never want to overfill the torch. Not good. It is doing totally not much. A tiny, tiny, tiny bit. There we go. Showing it up close. This is for experimental value. It has been a good pour, because for me, I think I would not do the primary elements in a pour anymore, because you'd have to thicken it up. That's number one. And if you thicken it up with a sort of a thickening medium, that's not going to dry up pretty, because you won't get those beautiful metallic streaks. I'm going to just let it work. I do see some little cells forming here and there, and I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to see how the metallics are going to do something maybe really pretty, maybe not. But, you know, it's all about experimenting. I might want to put a little bit on top here, just right there. I kind of like that, just playing with it just a little bit, because it goes well. Maybe I'll do a dropper. Let's see. I hope I get my droppers pretty soon because I'm running out. Just a little bit there. Tiny, tiny bit there. And then I need the little stick anyway. There we go. You know, for people looking for more control in their the way they use the paint, that is something that you can do with these primary elements. You can bring it on top, like I'm doing now, and then with your stick, you just go straight through it and sort of incorporate it into your painting. And as you can see here, it's totally taken up by the paint, so that could be a cool effect. Doing that down here, just to give it just that little bit more sparkle. Kind of like that. A little bit down here. And that's something that it does do well, because it just, you know, flows into your piece. So it's not that obvious that you put that on top. I like that. Let's do that here. A little sway. What I'm not liking in this pour is the Payne's Gray, because it's pretty dark, and I bet there's someone who's going to say, oh no, I like the dramatic look. There's always someone that does like it, but for me it's just a little bit too dark. Okay, that we got that one filled in. Then I still have a little bit of green left. I would like to put that here. And here, anywhere where there's green, a little bit up there. We'll just see how it dries. There we go. That's enough. Then we don't waste any more of that. This is a waste, and I'm sure that even, ooh, I got paint on my face now. Even though I could pick a little bit up, but I'm not so sure that's going to be pretty. Let's do that. So this is Yupo. Like I've told you guys before, if you just search Google for Yupo, and you gotta make sure you get the thicker. This is pretty thick. Okay, see? This is really thick. So don't get anything thinner, because if you torch it, that won't work. So what I'd like to do is take this up as slowly as possible, because you don't want to move it too much, because then you get all that gooky, muddy color. There we go. Let it swirl a little bit, because I do like that. Let's see if we can torch it. There's a little air bubbles there. No, nothing torching. I'm not sure I like these colors together. You know, sometimes you do want to, you know, just step out of your comfort zone, because it's important to experiment with color. But you just have to realize that it's not always going to be stunning, beautiful, and maybe you just don't like it in the end. But that's okay, because you learn. Here we go. Nah. This isn't something that I really would like. Let's do a little fold. That's what I do sometimes. See, if you do that, how easy that is. And I'm sure if you were to wait till this is dry. Let me do a little. Okay, that's that. If you wait for it to dry and you let this paint here run down a bit, because then it really resembles a butterfly. There we go, and up a bit. Do have to make them the same size. You could use that as some sort of a decoration thing, decal. I think you call them decals. If you cut them out like that and put some really pretty things on top of there, that would work perfectly. So, okay, that's about it. I'm going over to my brother-in-law in a bit because we're going to be talking about, ooh, that's cool. I get so distracted. Look at that. See, now it does work. It works because you throw some paint over the silicone that has risen to the top. See, if you do that, it always works. That's pretty, right? I am a little sad that I'm throwing all that paint away because this, I can't do anything with it. Maybe I'll put it together and use it as a sort of a gray or something. I could do that because it's really all ready. I could just put it in a cup. So I'm going over to my brother-in-law in a bit. We're going to see if we can do something about these pigments, if we can import them to Holland so that we can sell them to people that live in Europe, because it's so much shipping cost involved in these pigments. It's just way too much. A lot of people will really like to use them, but then, you know, they just stop at the expense of the shipping, and I kind of find that sad, because, you know, if you really want to use something, you know, you really want to. I know how that feels, because I've had that a couple of times before, that I thought, you know, I so want to use something and it's not available here in Holland, and then it makes you sad, and I don't want you guys to be sad. So I'm going to look into it. He's a pretty good business-minded guy, and we're going to talk about it, and if it's possible, we're going to do that. Which brings me to the pigments you see on eBay or AliExpress. You know, the pigments they sell you in those big plastic bags. Please, it's not the same thing. Please don't buy those, and you know, then you're all happy because you bought them, and then you have to wait a couple of weeks before they arrive. And the sad thing is, then you're going to use them and they're going to look nothing like what I did, and then you're all sad and disappointed. And I know how that goes, because I've done that a couple of times before. So please don't do that. You can always buy pigments and use them to color paint, but other than that, it's not the same as primary elements. Absolutely not the same. And I know it's confusing, because then you're thinking, okay, but they're pigments, right? Yeah, they are, but they're only a color. The pigments you see they might have a little mica in there, but they're absolutely nothing like primary elements. There's a lot more in there than just a little pigment and a little bit of glitter. That's not it. So let's see if I mix this up, what color we get. That's not too bad. I kind of like that color. Not for the whole painting, of course, but for a little bit, I don't think that's too bad. It is a yucky mucky color, but who knows? Might want to use it. So I'm going to keep that, throw this away, and I am going to show you close up like I always do, because I think that is something you guys like. There we go. See, just very minimal cell action. A lot of wispy stuff going on. And you can, if you really look, you can pick up a little bit of the primary elements, but not that much. Usually it pops when you varnish the whole thing. But it's looking okay. It's not one of my paintings that I think, oh, I'll just throw it away right away. So that's okay. Okay, guys, going to my brother-in-law's, and when I get back I might do another pour, but then a really pretty pour. So see you all later. Bye bye.